All right, let's move on to the next game on Super Good Wild Card Weekend. The Steelers taking on the Ravens. This is their third matchup this season. The Steelers and the Ravens will play each other. This time, Baltimore is currently a 10-point favorite, and the total is 43 and a half. These two teams have a pretty good history of playing close games, Nate. So, is there any value on Pittsburgh here?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see such a big number between these two teams. Whenever I think of a Steelers Ravens matchup, since I could remember, it's usually like a spread that's of like 3 points, or it usually ends up being a close game. So I feel like
Yeah.
there could be value on the Steelers. You could definitely make a case for it. I really don't want any part of Pittsburgh in this game, even
Okay.
catching 10. These two teams played 3 weeks ago in Baltimore, so kind of we have a good comparable game of what the point spread should be and what the total should
Yeah.
be. But in that game, the Ravens were only a 7 point favorite. The total was 44 and a half, and the Steelers were without their best wide receiver, George Pickens. So I know
Hmm.
that the Ravens won that game 34-17. So I get why the point spread is a little bit higher, especially since the Steelers lost to the Chiefs and Bengals in kind of important games in terms of seeding, or they were still chasing the division. But they do get their best wide receiver back for this matchup. I know he was terrible against the Bengals on Saturday night, but he's still an important part to what this offense wants to do. So I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, if the Steelers were playing better, I'd be a little bit more confident in this. But if they were playing better, this line would probably be more like a touchdown. I was just really underwhelmed by the Steelers' game plan against the Bengals on Saturday night, where they were just running the ball on first down with very little success against a pretty bad defense in Cincinnati. And that was leading to second and longs and third and longs for Russell Wilson, and he wasn't able to do anything for that. And the Ravens defense, I know early in the season they were giving up a lot of yards in the passing game, but their secondary has really improved. They've made a lot of adjustments. One reason that I'd probably stay away from laying the points with the Ravens though is Zay Flowers. He got injured in week 18 on Saturday. Feel like that's a pretty significant loss if you're counting on the Ravens to win by margin. And I can see them holding him out for this game, so he's ready to go for bigger, more competitive games down the line in the playoffs. This is, of course, a big game, but just more competitive games. I think the Ravens know that they could probably get away with no Zay Flowers and still have success in this matchup with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry running the ball. So hard game for me to bet on. I don't love laying points like this amount in a divisional game, but it would be
Hmm.
only Ravens for me. I want no part of the Steelers. If I did have to make a bet in this game, I would look into the under, either first half under or full game under, even though this total has come down quite a bit from some of the early numbers, which was 46 and a half, all the way down to 43 and a half.